Embiid's been incredible. I mean, the game last night was unlike. It really felt like he could get 80. He's making 20-footers and 25-footers, and he's spinning around. He's just getting fouled. He makes every free throw he takes. He is the most unfallible big man we've had, because it's just like he's just going to get 2 points immediately. On the other hand, it was San Antonio, but he has looked awesome. What does that team need? If you're the GM or you're the advisor, and it seems like they have spots basically for 2 trades. They could have done like a Rozier type trade. They could still get an Alex Caruso type of person. They could get somebody they could get like a Bogdanovich from Detroit. Maybe they could go all in on a DeJounte Murray. I'm figuring, let's say you give them a starter and a bench player in the trade market. Who are the ideal 2 people you would look at?
I'd want to be looking for an upgrade over Tobias Harris and Anthony Melton. Those guys have been solid this year for the Sixers, to be clear. They've been rock solid. But if you're looking for that third creation option, you have the Embiid Maxey 2-man game, but who is going to be the Michael Porter Jr. or the Aaron Gordon to the Jokic Murray 2-man? Like, who's that guy? Gordon for the Nuggets, we saw he was beaten up on mismatches, on post-ups. Michael Porter Jr. can go off. Who's that guy for the Sixers? So I think like the number one guy that like besides Terry Rozier, who did make a heck of a lot of sense, Zach LaVine being the other big name player that people talk about all the time.
KOC is like his last defender.
I'm not. I would
You're
not
on Zach
trade for
LaVine Island. No, admit it. You have a property there. You have like a small beach house on LaVine Island.
No, I'm intrigued by what he would look like playing with a player of the level of Embiid, but would he be the guy that I'd go for? Not necessarily. I'd rather wait and hold on to cap space this summer and figure things out then. But if I'm the Sixers, I want a guy like a Caruso, just somebody who can fit into that system, or DeMar DeRozan even, like rather than LaVine, expiring contract, add a little bit of a mid-range, and he's been shooting more threes than ever before. I would be going for DeRozan, Caruso, that combination, because that gives you the defense, it gives you the creation, it gives you the hustle with Caruso. It gives you the experience with DeRozan. And it's
so you're thinking like that's Tobias Harris, Marcus Morris's contract, and some picks and a swap, and you get both of those guys.
Something along those lines where like you get that, because there's no overlap between DeMar DeRozan and Tyrese Maxey. They're different types of scorers with the way they generate
crunch time,
buckets.
You're going Embiid, Batum, DeRozan, Caruso, and Maxey?
That sounds pretty good, right?
What do you think, House?
Yeah, it does sound pretty good. I was kind of surprised in the context of the Hornets, in this kind of tear down mode, and I'm going to lose so much money on my Hornets over 30 wins bet.
Well, that was we said that during the over under pod. That was the stupidest fucking.
That one wasn't the dumbest. The dumbest was the Wizards. But
that was fun. You're your Wizards.
The Hornets have talent. They just can't all be healthy on the same floor. But the name that I saw show up today, and in a potential combo deal with the Suns, which I still don't understand. How could the Suns have anything left to give anybody? Right. Is Miles Bridges. Now, obviously, that's a complicated person, a complicated figure. But Miles Bridges on the Sixers, that to me is super intriguing. Like that's a guy that can get tough buckets. And what that team needs, to me, end of game, 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left. It's why DeRozan is a great call in terms of a fit. He can get buckets. He doesn't need the ball all the time. I think Bridges would be incredible on this team.
My number one pick is DeRozan. I was just watching him. Didn't they play last night? Yeah. Guess who can still get really good shots in the last 5 minutes of a game? DeRozan. Mm-hmm. Also, 2-point shots, which, honestly is the biggest flaw of the Celtics right now. We saw it on Friday night in that Denver game. Just Denver's ability to just get good shots in the last 5 minutes of a game, which is their biggest skill. That's their superpower. Just every shot I like. And Boston, for 43, 44 minutes, I love all the shots I get. Last 4 minutes, everything slows down. KP is over on the side now like he was in Dallas. He's not involved at all. The guards aren't involved. And it's Tatum and Brown. And it's one-on-one stuff. And it's just not smart basketball. And that's why think they have 9 losses, KOC, and in 8, they were tied in the last 2 minutes. But I really worry about their ability to execute. If the Sixers got DeRozan, now you're protected because I think you can shut down 2 scorers. Embiid and Max, I know Embiid's having a great year. I know Max is really good. But if I'm only worrying about 2 guys, I'm fine. But now if I have a third guy that can take the pressure off, who can go for 35 in a game 3, where it's like, oh, we didn't even need Embiid and Max tonight. DeRozan went nuts. I just think he would fit in with what they do. And the only thing I would say about getting rid of Tobias, who I think has been in trade rumors now for 10 years, awesome teammate, knows his role, doesn't really care if he gets shots. Like, he's 17 a game. He could probably do a little bit better than that. And I'd be really hesitant. This team seems like it really likes each other. The contrast, I know you talked about it on the mismatch last night, KOC, but the contrast between Embiid chasing 70 versus Towns chasing 70 and what was going on with that Minnesota team was night and day. That whole Philly team, they were going for it for Embiid. They were all locked in. They really wanted it. And I don't know, man, when your chemistry is good, the Celtics are in the same spot. They have awesome chemistry. It's going to be really hard for them to make a deal. It's going to have to be cosmetic, but I think DeRozan I think we're all aligned. LaVine is the home run swing, but I think the downside is too risky for what his contract is, right? What's his contract, KOC?
He currently is being paid $40 million, and he has 4. This is the first of 4 years remaining. So he's going to be making near 50 by the end of that. And for what it's worth, Bill, I just pulled up the trade machine. They don't need to give up Tobias Harris in that deal. Like, let's say they were to get DeRozan and Caruso, they'd be taking in $38 million. They could get to $36 million with Morris.
Oh, so you could do Covington and Morris and interesting.
Melton. So you could get to the
Harris?
Money, and you could keep Harris in that situation.
Oh my God!
So
that's my nightmare as a Celtic fan. If that trade right there.
What are they giving? What are they giving the Bulls? What do the Bulls get for that?
Just a lot of picks and some swaps and expiring.
Oh, they're going to do the Wizards plan.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to become the Wizards. Okay.
I guess my question with the Bulls, I know this is crazy, but I'm not positive I would do anything unless it was an awesome trade. I kind of like the Bulls. Like, they're 9 right now. They're 21-24. I get it, but they sucked in the beginning of the year. I think they have a chance potentially to climb to 7 or 8. And I wouldn't want to see them in a 1-game whatever. I actually think they're pretty good. Like, House, you're making a face. Have you watched the Bulls? Like, they're pretty good.
They're the same as last year. They were 3 minutes away from knocking the Heat out of the playoffs. I know.
But Kobe White's totally different than he was last year. I don't think they're the same.
He's better. I think they're largely the same.